On this episode of Globetrotting with Trey, Dr. Nick, George Nicopoulos, shares a few of his stories with Elvis. He shares the time that he first met Elvis at his ranch in Mississippi and what happened when he was called out there to treat him. He also shares two very funny stories, one that took place in Detroit, Michigan during the 1975 New Year's Eve concert at the Pontiac Silverdome. Plus, you want to stay tuned and watch all the way to the end because Dr. Nick really gets real personal and talks about the death of Elvis and what really happened. I made sure to transcribe the audio for you guys. There was at times it was hard to really understand, so I made sure to put the words up underneath so you can follow along. But to me, I personally knew Dr. Nick, and these stories are very important for you guys to learn. So hey, I think it's going to be a great episode. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say before he starts, several months ago, Dr. Nick fell and broke his shoulder. Then, 2 weeks later, he fell and broke his hip. And he's been recuperating for the last 2 or 3 months. And for him to be here today, that shows you his love for Elvis Presley.
I tell you, there's been so many nice things said about Elvis, there's not much more to say. But yesterday I learned something new from George Klein that I want to just straighten out.
Right.
George thinks he's the only guy that slept with Elvis. But I slept with Elvis several times. And the way that would happen is that I would travel with him on the road, on the tours. And every night, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, he'd call me and say, I woke up and can't go back to sleep. Would you come down here? So I went down there. I'd taken half of one of his sleeping pills. Because I didn't think I was going to be down there. So we sat there and talked for about an hour. And I lay across the foot of the bed, went fast to sleep. And he woke up first the next morning and didn't want to know what the hell I was doing there. Another funny story well, to begin with, I was not a Elvis fan. George called me one Sunday, said Elvis was sick and his doctor was out of town. When I come back and see him, and how far is it?
About 20 miles.
No, about 20 miles to make a house call. And I was on call already to 8 doctors. And really, and since I really didn't care about Elvis, the only reason I didn't care about Elvis is because I didn't know him. So I went down to the ranch and saw him. He was supposed to leave the next day to go to Hollywood to make a movie, and we had a lot of activity in it, and he had silent sores on his butt, and he could hardly walk. So I didn't know how complicated things would be. I treated silent sores and He had to show me the range, he had to show me the horses. He had brought all the guys down there, house trailers and horses, and they didn't ride nowhere. But I had to call the colonel and the people with the picture, because they had everybody already on the ground waiting for Elvis to get down to start whatever they do. But on the way back into town from Elvis, he said, Dr. Nick, do that favor. About 10 miles away from the range, stop by and say, my grandmother, she's real sick. His grandmother was really sick. And she had a bad case of asthma and pneumonia and running fever. And first I told him no, I didn't have time, I had to get back into town. But I did stop by. In the meanwhile, one of the guys called the house and said, Elvis wants you to come back out here, he wants you to ask you something. I said, well, why can't he ask me on the telephone? And no, he wants to talk to you about it. It just so happened this is the one Sunday afternoon, it was beautiful, and I wasn't very busy, so I went back out there. I went back out there 3 times for one house call. So that didn't please me very much either. But after we got him well, he called me from California and wanted to fly out there to talk to me. Just talk. And he make up some story, there was something wrong with him and this, that, and the other. And I was glad to get out of town, so I went out there quite a few times for that. So I really didn't become his doctor until he moved back to Memphis full time. But he was really one of a kind. I mean, he wanted everybody in the group to show me respect. They couldn't call me by my first name, they couldn't call me by my last name. They had to call me Dr. Nick. If I didn't do that, they get chewed out. One guy got fired. So, Elvis, one thing I don't think everybody understands that really everybody knows how smart Elvis was. Especially on the tours, we carried 2 suitcases full of books that he would read or ask questions about. And he and the guys were not all interested in the same thing. He enjoyed having somebody there that could talk about deeper subjects. But he read so much, I'm sure he would have been a senior in college. He read complicated books. Not that he didn't like comic books, but he was amazing. One of the funny stories, I guess, is when we went to Detroit for New Year's Eve concert. Elvis got nervous and panicked and wanted me to call the doctor from Vegas or LA because he had a sore throat, he said. We had about 3 or 4 hours before the show, and he wanted me to fly somebody in to see him. Well, I checked his throat, it looked all right to me, and I called a friend I had in Detroit that I played racquetball with, and he agreed to come out and check Elvis's throat, even though he was a gynecologist. So, we got through the show very well, except for he split his pants on stage. But he never knew what happened to him.
You want me to ask you a question?
Probably tell me.
Ladies, when you say bend over. He gave you a shot, he gave you a shot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this guy was my doctor, still is my doctor today, even though he's not practicing. We all go to Dr. Castelaw. Dr. Mark Castelaw has an Elvis room. He's a cool doctor. He has a picture of Nick in there, me and Elvis and all the guys, and Jordan Ayers and DJ Fontana. It's called the Elvis room. But anyway, Nick was always been my doctor as long as I can remember until he retired, and then I went to Dr. Castelaw at his suggestion. But what I want to say is that when Elvis passed away, Dr. Nick took the worst fall of anybody. The two bad doctors, there were two bad doctors, and I've documented this in my book. One was in Las Vegas, called Doctor to the Stars, and the other one was a dentist in Los Angeles. Those were the guys. We all know that Elvis had a chemical dependency to prescribed medication, but these guys, Dr. Nick had under control. It was a power pack. Is that what you get, Elvis? Those pill packages called power pack. And the guys would give Elvis the medication at certain times of the day in a little plastic bag or something.
I didn't let Elvis have any of his medicine. And I didn't let the guys have it unless it was Joe or me. So that he never had control of everything when we were traveling. Because he always felt like if I got a sore throat and you give me 15 pills to take, which you take 3 a day for 5 days, I'll get back fast, get well fast if I take 15 of them. So, one day I went at his house to treat him and left some medicine on his bedside table. And the next morning I stopped back out there and asked him, where's the medicine? Oh, I went ahead and took it. I figured I'd be well by the day. But he was that way. I mean, he'd probably be half asleep when Joe would get his medicine, and I remember that he took it.
Dr. George accomplished. Dr. Nick, as I understand the official release on Elvis Doctor, massive heart attack, was called cardiac arrhythmia.
Yeah. I don't know whether to tell the whole story or... Anyway, Elvis had gotten out to go to the bathroom, and as I'm sure some of you know, that was his downfall, was his going to the bathroom, and he stayed constipated all the time. And for a long time, the doctors out west, and even myself, and a bunch of specialists thought that his problem was from taking too many drugs. And we really didn't know that drugs had nothing to do with it, that he had a paralysis of his colon. which wouldn't allow his colon to empty out. That's the reason sometimes you'd see him on stage, he'd look fat, people would come up and say, "You're giving him steroids again." And it would just be that he finally emptied out his colon and he gets fat. But that was his downfall. When he was, that night that he died, that morning, he was a little bigger than usual, and he wanted to do something to get rid of his gut. And he kept pushing and holding his breath and pushing. That's called a certain term in medicine. It's called Valsalva maneuver, which will slow the heart down. If the heart slows down too much, especially with his blood pressure medicine that he was taking, the heart would go in an arrhythmia. It would get irregular or go too fast or too slow. And we didn't realize it till after we did the autopsy that that's what the problem was.
Thank you for that honesty.
That's yours, Dr. Anything else, Dr. Nick?
Nothing came to mind.
Dr. Nick here. How about Dr. Nick? Believe you me, and I know from experience, he was a good doctor. And he, as I said, he took the worst fall of them all, lost his license, lost his profession. I went to both trials, tried him in court. First case, they slapped his wrist, and then some little wise guy downtown wanted to try him again, so forth and so on. We'll get off in all of that, but we know that Dr. Nick loved Elvis, and he was innocent of all charges. The only thing Dr. Nick was guilty of was the fact that he would dedicate his life to Elvis Presley at any time. That was how much he loved him. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to round up.
I was friends with Dr. Nick last few years of his life, and I knew him personally. And to me, Dr. Nick, George Nicopoulos, he was a guy that was caring. He made sure that I called him to make sure that I made it home safely from Memphis. He would call up and check on me, see how I was doing. So I have that experiences with George Nicopoulos, with Dr. Nick. So I know the caring guy that I knew cared for Elvis and did everything in his best power as a human being to do to help Elvis. I have no doubt about that. So that's why it's important for me to let his story be out there for you guys to learn and take from. I'm just here to say that I'm very thankful that I could say Dr. Nick was a friend of mine. He was one of those guys that when you think about that you were glad that you were friends with. And not because he was Elvis's doctor, because he was a good guy. He really was. He was a good guy, and we talked about other stuff other than Elvis. He was just that friendly person. Friendly person, loved sports, loved Alabama football, and he loved his family. And that's why I know he loved Elvis, because Elvis was his family. So guys, don't forget, don't double dribble if you haven't already. Subscribe to Globetrotting with Trey. It's free, doesn't cost you a thing, and you stay updated with every new video that I upload, which is once every week, plus special videos here and there. Hey, and I already have 28 other episodes on Elvis on my channel. So please, go back on my videos and scroll down and watch all the other ones that I have from day one to now. I have some very good ones that I think you enjoy. And if you know any Elvis fans, Elvis Facebook groups, Elvis Twitter, please share my videos to them, because I want all Elvis fans to enjoy Globetrotting with Trey. Till next time, I'm going to leave this video and end it special with GK and Joe Esposito telling you once again who the good doctor was. Thanks for watching.
He took the worst fall of anybody. He lost his license as a professional doctor, almost lost his home, almost lost his fortune, what he saved up over the years to retire with. He lost everything because the bad doctor was one in Las Vegas called the Doctor to the Stars. The other bad doctor was the dentist in Los Angeles. They're the ones that supplied Elvis with the bad medication, if you will. And we tried to intercept it, Joe and I, Dr. Nick, Dean, and Jerry Schilling, and make it into placebos. You couldn't intercept it all. But anyway, my point is, the bad guy was in Vegas and Los Angeles. The good guy is sitting right here, Dr. George.
Elvis loved George. He really did. Elvis was very close to him, and we all still do. But they said, we know the real story. People out there don't know the real story, George.
Exactly. Joe Esposito, Elvis's road manager, best man, he should know at his wedding.